And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed, Hinder's Doors, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella 2 Wishes Come True. It's this. It is based on Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True. Once upon two times, Cinderella and Prince Singling were happily married. 6 months later, they are pregnant, but Cinderella is sick, so the baby might die. Cinderella's fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. She chants the magic words, Winnerly, Wannerly, One, and waves her magic wand. And the baby is cured. And the baby is a boy named Oliver. Olive, Nina, and Esme have a few tricks up their sleeves, though. They are complaining about not marrying Prince Singling. Another 6 months later, Oliver is almost 6 months old. And he can't wait to have his royal birthday party, and it's tomorrow. The next day is Oliver's royal birthday party. Cinderella asks, what about our gift, father-in-law? Oliver has now a magical necklace previously owned by the King of Onlyville when he was a baby. He needs to make a wish, rub the jewel on it, and the wish will come true. The King of Onlyville's magic wakes him up now. Sees that Olive, Nina, and Esme are breaking into the party. He says, oh no, they're trouble! Oh, big trouble! He then goes over to the king and tells him, Your Majesty, your son and daughter-in-law are in trouble. The King of Onlyville gets so infuriated he yells, sound the alarm! The King of Onlyville blows a trumpet that the king's guards hear an attack. Olive, Nina, and Esme attempt to escape. Oliver said, and I wish Olive, Nina, and Esme are trapped, rubs the jewel on it. Olive, Nina, and Esme are now trapped in the castle's dungeon. And so, the birthday party is saved. And he, alongside his parents, lives happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi all together. One day, the king of Sevenville's messengers said, Hear ye, the king of Sevenville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Septupling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi argue over who will marry Prince Septupling later. Cinderella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, I have lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. So she waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 7 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 7 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 14 strong horses. And then Cinderella's wear clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a septuple-tastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers, Cinderella's fairy godmother said. Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everyone will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Septupling said, who should marry me? Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi say all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Septupling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's all midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Septupling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So she traveled around Sevenville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi lived. But instead of Cinderella, Prince Septupling finds her 5 ugly, mean stepsisters. He then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper one by one? Sophia first, but her foot is too big. The rest is the same, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Septupling notices Cinderella's sweet slimmy. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella and Prince Septupling now live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Andrew's Doers, and this is the 2835th episode of Andrew Does Everything. Hang on. And now I've been debating on making the Cinderella sequels. I could do that. So, if you want to see Cinderella 2 7 Dreams Come True, maybe I can do it a 7-episode tradition. And all of you, I hope you enjoyed this parody fairy tale about rags to riches. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And, oh, look at the time. And well, Andrew's Doers, if we time this video just right, and And a few minutes later, wait for it. And if we can time this video just right, maybe I could still do it a 7-episode tradition, by the way. And then this video is 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And take care, Andrews Doers. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise too. And now, Andrew Knows Everything, Andrews Doers proudly presents Cinderella 2, 7 Wishes Come True. Sequel to the original Cinderella, and based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 2 times, Cinderella and Prince September were happily married. But Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. Several weeks later, Cinderella and Prince September succeed in getting pregnant, but Cinderella is sick. Her fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand, and because of that, the baby is cured. And the baby is a girl named Septima. A week later, when Prince September and Cinderella were sleeping one night, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi steal September and take her to the 7 Sahara Desert. The king of Sevilleville's messenger saw it and said, "Oh no, she's in trouble. Oh, big trouble." He then goes over to the king of Sevilleville and tells him about his granddaughter being captured. He gets so angry that he yells, "Sound the alarm!" That his messenger blows a trumpet alarm. That his guards hear it in order to find Septima. Meanwhile, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi made it to the desert, but their plan is interrupted when Naomi, the youngest stepsister, trips on a magic lamp. "Are you okay, Naomi?" asks Sophia. Naomi responds, "I'm fine." They then find the magic lamp, which Septima steals, and her foster parents, Simba and Sion, find her. Simba asks, "What are you doing in the middle of nowhere, little lady?" Sion responds, "I don't know, Pookie Muffin. Let's take her home." Simba and Sion then find her the magic lamp that Septima was holding and say, "She's holding a magic lamp." Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi don't give up though. They say, "Come back with our step-niece all together." 7 years later, Septima plays with a group of girls. One of them says, "Septima, try to catch this." But they throw the ball and it's about to hit the local shopkeeper, Demetrius. Septima uses her magic lamp to stop the ball. The genie of the lamp comes out of it and says, "I am the genie of the lamp and I got 7 wishes. What's your first wish, young lady?" Septima said, "I wish the ball wouldn't hit Demetrius. Because of that, Demetrius is saved." The townsfolk sighed and one of them said, "That was incredible, which makes the townsfolk happy. Demetrius said, and overjoyed, Septima, how can I ever thank you enough? But one of the girls yells, Quiet! To quiet the crowd and say, Septima, that's not how the game works, okay? Magic lamps are against the rules, and as punishment, we'll take you to the deadliest waste in the Sahara Desert, the River Styx. Meanwhile, back at Sevenville, Cinderella and Prince Septupling were worried that they might never see Septima again. Cinderella, if your godmother knows a map spot to find her. Septima loves the Sahara Desert but yearns to return home more. She asks Simba and Scion where she belongs. Simba explains where she and Scion found her. Near Sevenville. Septima is surprised about the news. Because of that, she begins her journey. The genie offers to help her, and so she agrees a decade later. After the next 5 wishes, with only 1 wish left. And Septima is 17 years old now. Septima, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi try to steal her again, but it's no use. I don't see our Stepneys anywhere, complains Sophia. Us either, agree the rest. Naomi adds, yes, just a genie with our Stepneys. Then said excitedly, what did I just say? Our Stepneys, I found her. Veronica said, splendid. But Septima uses her 7th and final wish to stop her evil step-aunts. She said, I wish my step-aunts would stop. And her genie said, your wish is my command, and turned Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi into statues. 7 minutes later, a celebration in Seville is to honor Septima's return home. Septima and Prince Septupling hug her and welcome back home. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doors, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And I hope you enjoyed this bedtime story. And oh boy, I never miss bedtime. Good night, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise too. Take care. Take care already. Good night. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 49erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 49erella. 49erella had 9 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. All 9 of them constantly made fun of 49erella and made her do all the chores. 49er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said them all together. One day, the king of 49ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 49ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Non-Quadragentupling. But 49erella is not welcome. her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They are overjoyed. They ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince Not a Quadrigentabling marry. Later, 49erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Not a Quadrigentabling. Whatever will I do? She went first. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 49erella. There, no, 49erella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you, she said. She then waves her magic wand. And because of that, 49erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 49erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 49erella has 49 pumpkins and 98 mice. 49erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 49 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 98 mice into horses, and the 49erellas brick clothes into a gown and crown. 49erella says, I've never seen such a not a quadrigentabletastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And climbs into the coach. 49erella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't, but have fun, 49erella, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will go back to normal. And so, 49erella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Not a Quadrigentabling was wondering who he should marry. Wondering who to marry, son? asked the wise, kind-hearted, and bold King 49ville, to which Prince Not a Quadrigentabling responds, yes, father. You're going to marry me, Prince Not a Quadrigentabling, said Farah, the oldest of 49erella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsister. Farah, wrong. You're Prince Not a Quadrigentabling. You're going to marry me, said Olivia. Both of you are wrong. Prince Not a Quadrigentabling. You're going to marry me, said Ramona. The rest say, you're going to marry me, Prince Not a Quadrigentabling. But Prince Not a Quadrigentabling angrily denies the request. Suddenly, 49erella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince Not a Quadrigentabling sees her, walks straight towards her, and says, you must be 49erella. May I please have this dance? To which 49erella responds, yes, I would be happy to. And so, 49erella and Prince Not a Quadrigentabling dance happily together. But later, 49erella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she ran so fast that she left one of her glass slippers behind. Prince Not a Quadrigentabling was really worried that he might never see her again. The king of 49ville comforts him by saying, there, no, son. I think we'll be able to find 49erella. And so, the next day, Prince Not a Quadrigentabling and the king of 49ville traveled all around 49ville and tried to find 49erella, who captured Prince Not a Quadrigentabling's heart and brought the glass sliver she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the home where 49erella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 49erella, they find Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince Not a Quadrigentabling then says, ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? Farah is first, but her foot is too big. Olivia's next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits! she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Nana Quadrigitabling and the King of 49ville noticed 49erella sweet singing. Prince Nana Quadrigitabling and the King of 49ville, your majesty, is that you guys? She hollered excitedly, to which the King of 49ville says, 49erella, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince Nana Quadrigitabling? 49erella and Prince Nana Quadrigitabling are now married. They, along with the King of 49erville, lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 49erella 2. 49 Wishes Come True. A sequel to 49erella. Based on the story of Cinderella with a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon two times, a year after 49erella and Prince Nana Quadrigitabling marriage, they celebrated their anniversary by doing a romantic dance. Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalie, and Ella are extremely jealous. No fair! I thought Prince Nana Quadrigitabling was going to marry me. They shout all together. 7 weeks later, 49erella and Prince Nana Quadrigitabling are getting ready to burn. And then another 9 months later, they succeed. But in the end, 49erella is gravely ill. Luckily, her fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. And so, she chants the magic words, Fippity foopity pecan pie, baby and 49erella, don't you die, and waves her magic wand. And not a minute too soon, 49erella is cured, and so is the baby, who is a girl named Nina Quaid. Nina Quaid Nana Quadrigitabling, to celebrate her birth, a big square rainbow. Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalie, and Ella are still extremely jealous about Prince Nana Quadrigitabling falling in love with 49erella. Suddenly, Ella, the youngest stepsister, slips on a puddle, flies through the air, and crashes into an evil witch doctor named La Nono Quadra. Ella, are you okay? asked her older sisters. Worried, to which Ella responds, I'm fine. Ladies, I'm La Nona Quadra. What can I do for you? Said La Nona Quadra. Oh my, he's handsome. I want to marry him, exclaims Ella in delight, much to her older sister's disagreement. Angered by that, La Nana Quadra lures them into his evil emporium and asks them if they'd like to team up, and so they agree. He then says, would you like to buy a product? To which Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella ask, what if we got to stop 49 wench and Prince Nana Quadrigitabling from marrying? La Nono Quadra has a magical wishing charm that grants 49 wishes. The king of 49 those messenger seizes and says, Oh no, we're in trouble. Oh, big trouble. No. And then goes over to the king of 49ville himself and says, Your Majesty, 9 evil ladies are buying an evil magical wishing charm from La Nona Quadra's Evil Emporium. Sound the alarm! Yells the king of 49ville, to which his messenger blows a trumpet alarm. That his guards hear and yell, Charge! And then they try to attack Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabella, Natalie, and Ella. But they say, we wish the king of 49ville guards will stop. And then the charm magically turns the king of 49ville's guards into stone statues. 48 wishes later, 49ville is in danger. Luckily, 49-year-old's fairy godmother chants the magic word. Zipping current button, wishing magic all undone, and waves her magic wand to return 49ville back to normal. She now asks, Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Nina, Isabel, Natalie, and Ella, what can I do to you? Nina Quaid suggests turning them into stone, and so she agrees. Chants the magic words. Fippity foopity ice cream cone. Magic wand turn them into stone. And waves her magic wand to turn Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Natalia, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella turn into stone statues so that they can't cause any more trouble. And then Nina Quaid, Olivia, along with 49er Ella and Prince, now the quadrilateral toppling, lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. And I bet you're going to love my tale video. And I've also been admitting on making the 49er Ella sequel as a bit of tradition. So if you want to see maybe next month, 49er Ella 3, non-quadrilateral double lovingly, something like that. Maybe this can be a monthly tradition or something like that. Maybe this can, just like the 13er Ella sequel is also based on Cinderella. Take care, bye!